Hey guys, I'm back. I'm so glad. I missed you yesterday. Today we're going to read A Bedtime for Bear. And we read about Bear a few weeks ago. Remember, a little mouse came and visited him, and it was the very first time ever he had a visitor. And he tried everything he knew to do to keep his house locked up, but the mouse kept getting in. But they became friends. So now we're going to read A Bedtime for Bear. It is written by Bonnie Becker, and the illustrator is Katie McDonald Denton. Take a look at the picture. I think they are so cute. These books have the best pictures. Okay, here we go. Everything had to be just so for Bear's bedtime. His glass of water had to sit on the exact right spot on his bedstand. His favorite pillow must be nicely fluffed. His nightcap needed to be snug. His nightcap is the hat he wears. But most of all, it had to be quiet. Very, very quiet. One evening, Bear heard a tap, tap, tapping on his front door. When he opened the door, there stood Mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. He clasped a tiny suitcase in his paw. "I'm here to spend the night," exclaimed Mouse with a happy wiggle of his whiskers. Look at him. "Surely we agreed on next Tuesday," protested Bear. "No," said Mouse. "You most definitely said tonight." "Oh," said Bear. Bear had never had an overnight guest before. Guests could quite possibly mess things up and make noise, and Bear needed quiet, absolute quiet at bedtime. Even so, Bear and Mouse enjoyed a game of checkers and warm cocoa, and soon it was time for bed. "Remember, I must have absolute quiet," reminded Bear. "Oh, indeed," said Mouse. "I want you to see something." Bear is holding Mouse's suitcase for him. Look at how teeny tiny it looks in Bear's hand. Bear set out his glass of water. He adjusted his nightcap. He fluffed his favorite pillow, and he climbed into bed. It was very, very quiet. He closed his eyes. Bristle, bristle, bristle. Bear heard a noise. It was Mouse brushing his teeth. Bear cleared his throat in a reminding sort of way. "Oh, most sorry," said Mouse. Bear closed his eyes again. "Hum, hum, pum, pum," Mouse hummed while he put on his nightshirt. "Pum, pum, pum." Absolute quiet," muttered Bear most patiently. "My deepest apologies," said Mouse. Creak, squeak, rattle went Mouse's bed as he hopped in. Bear jammed his pillow over his ears, gritted his teeth, and closed his eyes. Look at where Mouse's bed is. He's sleeping in one of the drawers of the dresser. He was just about to drift off when... "Good night, Bear," Mouse called softly. Bear tried to pretend he was asleep. "Good night," Mouse called a little louder. "My ears are highly sensitive," cried Bear. "Really? How interesting," Mouse said. "Can you hear this?" Mouse mumbled something into his pillow. "Yes." "Amazing. How about this?" Mouse said from under his pillow. "Quiet." Mouse slipped under his blankets, crawled to the bottom of his bed, and whispered, "Can you hear me?" "Silence!" Bear roared. Mouse slid from his bed, went into the closet, and said in the tiniest possible voice, into the farthest, darkest, teeniest possible corner of the closet, "Surely you can't. Will this torment never cease?" roared Bear. "Oh, sorry, Bear. Good night, Bear," whispered Mouse, tiptoeing back into bed as quiet as a you know, a mouse. There's Bear being dramatic again. We remember from the other book, he could be a little bit dramatic sometimes. Bear fluffed his favorite pillow, adjusted his nightcap, and waited. But there was no more sound from Mouse. At last it was quiet. Very, very quiet. Bear heard a shuffling sound. Mouse, is that you? No answer. Bear heard a crick, crick, crick on the floorboards. I know it's you, Mouse. No answer. You can't fool me, Bear growled, but he didn't sound very certain. Bear heard a low moaning noise. Mouse? Silence. Look, you can see Bear. He's maybe a little bit scared right now. Mouse is sound asleep. It's not Mouse. I wonder what it is. Bear was sure something rustled on the floor. Mouse, he cried, wake up! Mouse stumbled out of bed, small and gray and sleepy-eyed. What is it? But Bear couldn't see any rustling, moany sort of thing in his room. His room looked quite like it always did. Oh, nothing, lied Bear, still clutching his blanket to his chin. I must have been talking in my sleep. Bear chuckled, but it was rather quavery. Oh, said Mouse, with a glance at Bear. I think Mouse might know what's going on. Can I peek under your bed? Asked Mouse. Sometimes I like to check for things, you know. Well, if you insist, said Bear. Nothing, said Mouse from under the bed. You'll probably want to check behind the curtains, I suppose, Bear said. All clear, declared Mouse a moment later. You better check the closet, offered Bear. Then you won't be the least bit nervous. Now, wait a minute. Who's nervous, you guys? Is Bear nervous or is Mouse? Yeah, it's Bear, but he's pretending it's Mouse. Mouse came out of the closet, dusting his paws. Not a thing. Thank you, Bear. Good night. Wait, said Bear. You'll probably want a bedtime story, I expect, said Bear. For your nerves? For my nerves, said Mouse. Oh yeah. Oh, indeed. I'm quite shaken. Is Mouse trying to make Bear feel better? He's pretending to be scared, so Bear doesn't have to admit that he's scared. He can still be the big, brave Bear. Mouse is a good friend. Then with an eager flick of his tail, he settled on Bear's favorite pillow. And Bear told him all about the adventures of brave, strong Bear and the very frightened little Mouse. Here they are. Soon, Bear began to yawn. Mouse yawned too. Good night, Bear, said Mouse. Good night, Mouse. Bear mumbled. Then Bear began to snore loudly, but Mouse just smiled. And soon, Mouse and Bear both were fast asleep. I want you to see this last picture. What does Mouse have on his ears? That's right, he had to put some earmuffs on to try to silence Bear's snoring. I hope you like that story, guys. I love it. I love Mouse and Bear and their fun friendship that they have together. Have a good weekend. I'll have another story for you on Monday. Thank you. Bye.